Hi everyone, it's Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a little short video of how to make lemon curd. And I'm going to be doing it on the cooktop today instead of in the microwave like my other video. So yeah. So to start off with, I'm going to zest this entire lemon. And I do have some lemon juice here in this bowl that I have left over from a different recipe that I just did. And I'm going to be making this lemon curd to go on top of some cheesecakes. So if you want to watch my cheesecake video, I will put a link down in the bottom so you can go and watch that. I made some blueberry filling for that, or blueberry topping on that video to go with the cheesecakes. And I thought, well, I still have some lemon juice left over, so let's go ahead and make some lemon curd for it as well. So I'm making sure not to get into the pith of this. You don't want to get down to the white part because it will be bitter. And I don't need much lemon juice for this at all, but I was going to go ahead and use the zest. So all I need is a quarter of a cup of, I got to cut it first, quarter cup of juice for this recipe. So I'm just going to juice it into this little bowl. And then we will measure it out. So I'm just going to set this zest aside because we won't actually need it until the very end. Like I said, we just need a quarter of a cup. So there we go. All right, so in our little saucepan here, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar. It's a quarter cup measuring cup. 3. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And the reason I'm adding this first is because I want to make sure and whisk the cornstarch in so that there are no chunks in our curd. I should have a smaller whisk here. I need to order one that it's just smaller and has silicone on it because I do not want to scratch up my pans. But I don't have one yet, so we're dealing with it. And then I'm going to add a pinch of salt, and we are going to add the egg yolks. I have 2 egg yolks here. I'm going to whisk those in. Then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water. I want to make sure and get all of this incorporated. Ooh. Whisk it together. Now I am going to add the quarter cup of lemon juice, and we are going to get the cooktop turned on to a medium heat. I'm going to whisk, making sure everything is incorporated, and this is going to cook on here until it is thick. So I will come back and show you as it starts to thicken up. All right, so I am switching back and forth between my spatula and my whisk. It hasn't really even started thickening up yet. Once it does, you'll start to notice like a film on the bottom, especially when you're using your spatula, because you're just kind of scraping on the bottom to make sure that nothing's sticking. That's why I also like to use a nonstick pan whenever I do this. So you're just stirring. You don't want it to cook too fast. So I'm just going to keep stirring while it comes together. And if you wanted to do this in the microwave, you absolutely could. You would do it for this mixture for 2 minutes, take it out, whisk it, and then another 2 minutes. And as long as it is thick, you're done. You would add your butter and your zest and you would be completely done. So I'm going to keep mixing this and I'll come back and show you once it starts to thicken up. All right, so as you can see, it's starting to thicken up. You can see the, like as you're taking your spatula along the bottom, it's picking up this gel. So you just want to keep stirring constantly. Nothing too crazy. You're just wanting to make sure that you scrape along the corners of your pan so that none of that scorches on the bottom. And you just want to make sure it all comes together. You can switch to your whisk if you want to. You can just continue stirring. And you want everything to come to the thick consistency. You don't want to stop here. Just because you've seen it start to thicken does not mean that you should stop. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my whisk just to get everything to come together. And as you can see, it came together really quickly once I used my whisk. So I believe we are done. It is nice and thick. And if you take, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I don't want it to cook anymore. But I'm going to take a wooden spoon, get it on there, run my finger through it, and it holds its shape. Oh, that was hot. So it holds its shape. So it is done. So now we are going to take it over here to the counter. Okay, so now we are going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. And this is cold unsalted butter because we did already add the salt before. If you're using salted butter, just make sure that you don't add the other pinch of salt. I'm just going to stir that in, and I'm going to go ahead and add my zest. If you don't want this much zest, only use half or however much you want. You don't have to add any zest at all if you don't want to. And just stir that in till your butter is all melted. Your butter is helping this get super creamy. And because my butter was cold, it's going to start to cool down the curd a little bit as we're going. And you can see over here at the side, I have a clear pie plate. I love these for cooling my fillings because it creates a lot of surface area so that when you put it in the fridge, it cools it down a lot quicker. So that butter is all melted. So now we are going to pour it into the pie pan. And this is such a small amount. It should cool very quickly. Okay. Now I'm going to just kind of smooth it out a little bit. I'm going to take plastic wrap. You want to make sure that you touch the plastic wrap to the curd so that it does not create a film on the top. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for probably about an hour until it is completely cooled. And then I will show you what the texture looks like whenever I come back. All right, so the lemon curd has been setting up in the refrigerator for a little bit. Sorry, I hate that noise too. There we go. So I'm just going to take the plastic wrap off of it. And you can see it's still, our cats are going insane right now. You can see that it's nice and creamy and it's not too stiff or too set up. So I am just going to attempt to pour it into this little jar so that we can take it with us tomorrow. Because like I said, this is going to be topping for some cheesecakes. And so I'm just going to pour this in here. So excited for this. Taking too much concentration to make sure that I don't make a mess so I can't talk. All right. So I'm going to give it a little taste just to make sure it's good. Just the right amount of tart and sweet, so it's not too tart. Perfect. Thank you for watching. Make sure you give this a like and comment down below if you want to. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see all of my videos updated. And go check out that cheesecake video if you want to. Thanks. Bye.